Well, I should have done something with my hair before I came on here. I I I was outside working. Oh, by the way, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm Tim Carter, by the way, and I'm the Ask the Builder guy. In case you don't know, in case you're watching this for the first time, one of my videos. I try to do live streaming every Monday through Friday about 4 p.m. Eastern time. Didn't do it yesterday. I had to something unexpected came up and I became the Uber driver. That's okay. Got to spend some extra time with Kathy. And anyway, thanks for being here today. Lots of odd things to talk about. I'm going to be talking about cork flooring in just a moment. I've decided that I need to talk about that main topic right away so that I don't frustrate people who see this video, who don't watch it live. They watch this, I don't know, a day from now, a week from now, a month from now. And they they go, why is that guy just jabbering on? Earlier today, I'll just say this really quickly. Earlier today, I was dealing with a bunch of snow that had come off the roof. We had a lot of it. And I probably should have taken a photo, but I don't know, just it was 30, 40, 30, about 30 inches high, all up and down the sidewalk, and the whole front porch was covered. And it's just important to get that off of there for all kinds of reasons. And I finally got it off. And just as I was finishing, it started to rain a little bit. But the weather has kind of moderated here in central New Hampshire. Understand that this time of year, I mean, it could be 20 degrees would be your high in the day, but today was 40 something. I think maybe 42. I don't know. I'll check right now. But it was it was so warm. This is all I was wearing. I didn't have a jacket on. So yeah, it showed before that it was 42, but now it's showing that it's 37. And now it's saying that there's oh yeah. Big deal. Scattered rain showers may change to snow showers. Tell us something we don't already know. If you have any questions, I'm going to talk about cork flooring right now. If you have any questions about your home, it doesn't have to do with cork. It can be about anything. It doesn't matter. Just put it in the chat. If you're watching this and you don't have a YouTube account, then you're not going to be able to type anything. You need to have a YouTube account, and they're for free, and you don't have to upload a video. The hardest thing about getting a YouTube account is coming up with an account name, because there's millions of people that have already taken all the names. So if you think you're going to get your name, it's not going to happen unless you've got a very crazy name. I mean, like I don't know, LaFonda. When you spell it LaFawnduh, Bazakabi, or something like that. I mean, if you've got that name, you're going to get that name for sure. But most people, they get a name that they want to guard themselves. They don't want you to know who they are. For example, yes, Michelle, I'm going to do it right now. All I was going to talk about was Alex. Have you noticed Alex hasn't been around here? He probably knows the Rams are going to lose this Sunday. Okay. Michelle wants us to talk about cork flooring, and we're going to do it. So here's a little bit about cork flooring. The first time I saw cork flooring, it had to be, well, let's see. It would have been probably 47 years ago. And my father-in-law, he was a medical doctor, but his hobby was investing in real estate, and especially raw land. And then they would flip it and make a pretty significant profit. And he had a partner, and his partner, I don't know how, it's too bad I don't know this, and I'll never know because both of them have passed away. His partner was like the vice president of a heavy construction company in Cincinnati, Ohio. And his partner, my father-in-law's partner, his name was Carl Hunsaker. And Carl had purchased this beautiful piece of property on a bluff right above the Great North Bend of the Ohio River. I mean, it's the Great North Bend. That's actually, the town there is called North Bend. And you know how rivers, meander. Well, this bend in the river is the highest. It's the most northern extent of the Ohio River. on its journey from Pittsburgh to the Mississippi River in Cairo, Indiana. Oh, Michelle, hold on. We got to get this call. This is about Kathy's car. Very important. Hello, Tim Carter. I'm doing great. What's the word? Okay. I see. Oh, of course. Absolutely. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I got it. No worries, man. All right. So we'll maybe hear from you on late Monday or on Tuesday, it sounds like. All right. Okay. Well, thanks, Garrett. Thanks for calling, buddy. Okay. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. So, um, here's what you need to know. Michelle, we're going to be talking about, hey, everybody, we're going to talk about the Cork farm in just a second. I'll finish Carl's story. Um, Kathy, she who must be obeyed, my lovely wife of 47 years, going to be 48 years this September. So her car, we're driving back from church on Sunday. It's a Volvo XC90, a little old, 16 years old, but it's in great shape. Not a whole lot of miles on it. I'm driving it, and all of a sudden, it's like the car goes out of gas. I mean, it's just like the engine just kind of dies. Like what the heck, But then, like 3 seconds later, it comes back alive again. And then later in the day, it did it for my daughter, and it completely died. And then to make a long story short, um, it's this it's a wiring issue between this fuel control module and the fuel injectors, and they finally figured out what the problem was. And me on the phone, and looks like we're going to get the car back maybe Tuesday would be my guess. So Kathy, she's not going to be too happy about this. Not that she goes a lot of places, but she's going to be happy that they figured out what the issue is. Anyway, that's where we're at. And that was a crutch word. All right. So I'm going to say, Michelle, we're going to get right on it right now. I hope you're still here. Made it, Tim. What days? Jimmy wants to know what days do I normally do the live streams. I try to do Monday through Friday at 4:00 Eastern. I missed yesterday because because Kathy didn't have her car. I had to be her Uber driver yesterday, so I missed yesterday. Hello, Lorraine. Josh says, HA Flex. Okay, I'm going to get to you after we do. We're going to deal, Josh, with your problem after I talk about Cork floorings because Michelle has been waiting patiently. Carl Hunsicker, beautiful home, beautiful ranch home. He built it in the 1950s. He was a belt and suspenders type of guy, and he used precast concrete floor planks, and he had radiant heating in the floor of this ranch house, which I had never seen before. And I go into the kitchen of this home. I go down there one day with my father-in-law, and I go into the kitchen of his home, and I look down, and I see this plank floor. I had never seen anything like it. I was like, what in the world is that? The only thing I had seen had been hardwood flooring a vinyl tile, old-fashioned sheet linoleum, ceramic tile, of course, but I had never seen this product. I go, "What is that?" He goes, "Oh, that's cork flooring." I go, "What? Cork flooring?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." He said, "It's unbelievable. It's durable as can be. It cuts down on sound. It's real. It's got built-in shock absorbers, so it's easier to stand on." And he just started rattling off all of these benefits, and it was attractive looking. I then all of a sudden it hit me. I thought, well, wait a minute. It kind of bothered me. I thought, I know I've seen something like this before, but I couldn't picture in my head where it was. Well, it turns out the public library in Cincinnati, the main public library in downtown Cincinnati, it also had cork flooring in the whole place. And I mean, it was stunning. I mean, it was unbelievable. And it's like one of those best kept secrets. Now, and it's a really weird product because I think what it is first of all, there's a somewhat limited supply. It's not like, how can I say this? It's not like making vinyl tile. In other words, vinyl tile, the 12 by 12 tiles, you can make unlimited amounts of those because it's just a matter of how many barrels of oil you want to pour into the hopper at the end of up at the front end of the factory. Well, cork cork flooring, guess what? It's the bark of the cork tree. I mean, there's only so many cork trees. I mean, it's not like you could decide, well, everybody in the world's going to get cork flooring next week. No, that's not how it works. It is, so there's a limited supply, but you can get it in 12 by 12 tiles. So here's what I did. So I eventually then, once I built my last home in Cincinnati, which was in 1986, we lived in it for 20 something years. And when I redid the basement, we had beautiful red oak hard of the rest of the house, but in the basement, which was a poured concrete slab, I put this cork flooring in, and I bought it in 12 by 12 tiles, and it was so easy to install. I mean, you cut it with a razor knife, and all you have to do is it's kind of it's an unfinished surface. It's already been sanded, and all you have to do is put on 2 or 3 coats of clear-based urethane, and it wears like iron. The last time I saw cork flooring was, I don't know, 3 years ago. I had to go up to Bar Harbor to meet a friend, and my daughter lived up there, and I was killing some time. I got there a little early. I have this thing about libraries. I like going to libraries. So I pop in. I thought, oh, I've got a couple hours to spare. So I popped into the main library in Bar Harbor, and wouldn't you know it, and this library was, I'm thinking the library is 100 years old. It is the most stunning library. All of this oak woodwork. I got a bunch of photos of it. I probably should put them up. Anyway, crutch word. The floor in the library, cork flooring again. So cork flooring and libraries, they go together because first of all, it absorbs sound. So it's a really great floor to put in if you're going to, if you have a room like a game room, or in a kitchen. Like a kitchen is a great place because kitchens can be a little noisy. So it absorbs sound. It's good looking. It's easy on your feet. It's a great DIY product. You can install it. There's nothing hard about it at all. And as long as you keep it coated with a urethane, keep up on that, which once again is really easy to do. It can last for 40, 50, 60 years. I mean, it's an incredible floor. I put a link to the column. I'll do it again. I have a link to the column right here in the chat, but I'll give you an updated link. Really, really a great product. So I just can't say enough good things about cork flooring. And I've used it in my own home. I even put it on the steps going up and down to the basement. Really, really great product. If you have any questions about cork flooring, you know what to do. Put them in the chat. Happy to talk about it. Happy to answer your questions about Cork. And all you have to do is just go online and type in Cork flooring, manufacturers or sellers, and you'll find them like Wickander. There's like 3 or 4 companies that have been doing it for a long time. It's really you've got, how much is a square foot? Who knows? And I mean, did you see the news today? I can tell you what the price is today. Doesn't mean that's what the price is going to be tomorrow. If you don't, whoever you are, BHADZ, I'm just going to call you 100. I highly recommend that you start paying attention to the financial news. Because if you're interested in Cork flooring, you better go buy it tomorrow, is all I can tell you. I've been preaching this. I've been banging this drum for the past 2-3 months. I might start doing it again about inflation. Look at the news. Look at what the news was today. Connecticut. All right, go. I don't know what the price is per square foot. It doesn't matter. I mean, it is what it is, and and all I can tell you is the price is going to go up. So if you're interested in Cork flooring, you better buy it tomorrow. All right. I'm going to go up and deal with Josh's question. HVAC flex supply ducts in my crawl space. Some of them have substantial amount of water in the initial layer. Weighing them down. Yeah, it's coming from duct boots. What should I do? Well, I think you're going to have to install new stuff, because this is a rhetorical question, Josh. What are you going to do? How are you going to dry that insulation out? I mean, take off the outer covering, and then how are you going to get that back on? I just think, and what happened is that there obviously was an air leak that the moist air in the crawl space was able to get inside, and on the other side of the insulation condense, and then give you the problem you have right now. You better go, Josh, you can make the repair, and then the next thing you do the next morning or the next day or the next week is you better go read my columns about how to put in the high performance vapor barriers in your crawl space. Because what you need to do is you need to stop any water vapor. You need to really minimize water vapor in your crawl space so that there's nothing there and become a problem. So I think the only way you're going to fix it is you're going to put new flex duct in. I have no idea how you could ever dry that insulation out, and rewrap it and rewrap it perfectly. I don't know how you're going to do that. Excuse me. Missing says, Lorene, my parents bought a lake house. They had Cork flooring, and that was probably 20 years old when they bought it. The house, it was great. Yep, absolutely. Cork flooring, fantastic stuff. Jimmy says, not happening, dying it. I don't know what that means, Jimmy. I have no idea what that means. You're saying, I think I know what you mean. You're saying it's not happening, that you're going to be able to dry it out. I would agree with that if that's what you're saying. Yes, exactly. You're, it's not going to dry out. It's going to be, it's time to put in new ductwork, and who knows, Josh, maybe it's time to put in metal ductwork, regular real ductwork, and you insulate that, you spray foam around that, and you'll never have the problem again. Never. I mean, that's what I would consider doing. Be a little bit more money, but and if you do decide to do that, you better go read all of my columns on the website about static pressure, how to size the ductwork, how to make sure that you've got the correct amount of cubic feet per minute of air going to each room. I've got all that information on the website. 100 wants to know, what kind of underlayment would you recommend, and how do you seal it? I assume you're talking for Cork flooring. Well, that's a great question. Here's why it's great. It's kind of a teaching moment. And I had that same exact thing happen. There was a comment on my website overnight, and it's kind of funny. I get to the point where I just kind of shake my head. And this person on the website, they were asking, hey, I've got this American Standard tub, blah, blah, blah. what size pipe fits to it. And it's just like, what I wanted to say, what I always say, and I know this is going to come across snarky. Okay. So give me some slack here. My answer, and I think I've said this before. I've stopped answering these things in the morning because in the morning, I mean, I'm awake, but I have much less tolerance in the morning for, I don't have as much tolerance. So I would have said to him, when you went to the American Standard website and you looked at the technical specs for this tub, what did it say? What did the technical drawing show as to the pipe size? And the teaching moment of that, and just like I'm going to say to 100 is, I'm going to warn you about this. I'm going to, and take this with a grain of salt, and don't be offended when I say this. Do not stop trusting people like me, and I mean, you can at least see me and you hear me talking, and I'm the Ask the Builder guy. But stop trusting anything you read or see online about how to install a product, what underlayment you're supposed to use. Like here's a typical thing. Some flooring contractor could say, "Oh, I'm going to share this. You need to read this. Here's what I'm going to say. The flooring contractor could say, I've been installing Cork flooring for 30 flipping years, and I use XYZ underlayment. Okay, good for you, man. Guess what? You may have been doing it wrong for 30 years. I want you to read this column. This is a true story in this column. You have to read this column, and it'll drive home exactly what I just said. Trying to pull it up. Just a second. Here we go. I'm telling you, this is a really interesting column. I loved writing this column, and it's to 100's point, even though it doesn't have anything to do with underlayment under Cork flooring. So I'm going to answer your question, but I want you to read this column. So the best type of underlayment to put in is the underlayment that the Cork flooring manufacturer tells you to put in. Does that make sense? Why is that the answer? Because I'm here to tell you that the 800 number of the Cork flooring manufacturers over the years has rung from people having failures putting down their Cork flooring over inferior underlayments. So the Cork flooring people probably, in their written installation instructions, probably say, we recommend blah, 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 blah underlayment. And it should be this thick. And the floor joist should be this on center. And blah, 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 blah. In other words, when you have here's the teaching moment 100. When you have a question about how to put a product in, what about the products that product touches? There's only one source of the best information, and that is the actual product manufacturer. They're going to tell you, and you have to pin them to the mat. And if that particular manufacturer doesn't give you an answer, then go to the other 2 or 3 Cork flooring suppliers. Ask them. But my guess is going to be they're going to say underlayment, the best underlayment, probably, I don't know, half-inch AC fir plywood. I'm just guessing. I mean, something nice and smooth, something that's not going to buckle, something that is not going to warp, something that's waterproof. I mean, just see what they say. Josh wants to know air leak where, though. Well, Josh, I mean, you're a smart guy because I know what you do for a living. You're a smart guy. So this is a rhetorical question. where did the condensation get in there? How did the condensation form? Think about that. How did it form? I mean, here's what we know. I mean, let's just assume we could actually go down this list. Like if you had hired me for one of my 15-minute phone consults, I would go, was there a water leak inside the flipping crawl space? Did a water line break and water was squirting all over the place? No, there was none of that. Never happened. Did anybody spill any water upstairs and it dripped through to the crawl space? No, never happened. Okay, so there's no way that liquid water got into the crawl space. You don't have any water leaking in the crawl space? No liquid water in the crawl space. Okay, awesome. That means we've narrowed down the problem to water vapor. So if the insulation got wet, there's only one way that can happen. When that nice cold air gets blown down through those pipes and they get chilly, that dew point drops and it drops below whatever the dew point, the temperature of duct drops below the dew point in the crawl space, and whatever the dew point is inside the insulation, boom, condensation. So there's your answer. So you just have to put on your Columbo, your Peter Falk Columbo trench coat, and you have to figure out how in the hell did moist, humid air get on the other side of this outside plastic liner. That's your answer. All right. Orange drink. Just saying hi, but now I have to leave. Bye. How hot is the crawl space? Jimmy wants to know. Well, Jimmy, here's my guess. I know where Josh lives. It depends. In the winter, his crawl space could be 40 degrees. In the summer, it could be 65. But the thing is, I would guess that it's probably got no vapor barrier or an inferior one, and that the humidity level inside the crawl space is way up there. And that's how to eventually stop the problem, is you've got to stop water vapor from getting into that flipping crawl space. All right. What else can I help you with? All right, I'll tell you what I did this afternoon. I told you that if you missed at the beginning of the live stream, by the way, if you have any question about your home, just like Josh has asked, go ahead and put it in. Put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer. It doesn't have to be about cork flooring. It can be about crawl space ductwork. It can be about the Bengals-Rams game. It can be about eating carrot snacks like I had just before we went on the air. I ate a carrot. I wish I had another one right now, but I don't. It could be about my blue Henley shirt. It could be a lot of things. All right. Josh has got to thank you. Thanks. And yes, the floor plastic isn't great. There we go. Tell me lots of things to do. Just confuses me why some are and some aren't. Well, that's simple. Come on, Josh. You're a smart guy. You, man, I've met you on the Zoom call. So it's obvious. It's so simple. I mean, if you want to go down there and inspect it, whatever ones are sagging and have the most air, look at the connection. Look and see if there's any slit. If the guy who installed it cut the outer protective wrap of the duct, look at how it's connected at each end, and then compare that to the ones that aren't sagging. Simple as that, buddy. All right. Lorene says, I have news about the fireplace. Oh, good. They start the 21st, and of course, I'm going for a few hours that morning. You're gone for a few hours that morning. No worries. They've got some demo work to do. I wouldn't stress about it. Yeah. Photo. Thank you. Take as many photos as you can. Jimmy says yes. Oak Grove 73. Hello, Oak Grove. I was on the air this morning doing some Morse code. I sent. It wasn't really encrypted. It's illegal. Those of us who have ham radio licenses, we're not allowed to send encrypted messages on the internet. I mean, over the airways, illegal. But what I did do is I sent 5 character groups, 5 groups of different letters that made nonsense. But that's not encryption. I mean, it's only encrypted if I have the key, and and the person who's receiving has the key. There is no key. I was just sending nonsense to put it, because I didn't want him to get lazy, because what can happen if you're training somebody in Morse code, and I start to say, well, for example, the first thing I sent earlier in the day was, I sent this to K3LP, bring large truck to 20500. So as soon as you start to send BRI, the person kind of guesses. They'll go, BRI might be bring, so you get a little lazy. Well, when you send RCX TV, like, what the heck does that mean? You get my point. All right. I was dealing with a bunch of snow a couple hours ago. Over the past 10 days or so, we've had a lot of snow, and we had first, what happened is about 10 days ago, we had this wretched flipping ice storm. And then we had, I don't know how many inches on top of it. I've lost track. 4 or 5, 6 on it. And then, I don't know what day it was. Might have been Monday. I don't know. I think today's Thursday. Anyway, we got another like 4 inches of wet snow, I think Monday night or something. I don't know. Maybe it was Sunday night. I don't know. And anyway, some of the snow was on the roof of the house, and it all came down. I mean, it came down onto my front sidewalk, and I guess it came down maybe 2-3 days ago. So yeah, it must have been Monday. And I've just been slowly dealing with it. I mean, and what happened, it gets cold nights, so the top it turns into a crust, and you have to kind of chop through it. It's not an easy task. And then you have to shovel. There's no place to put it in the front walk. It's all that space is gone. So you have to put it into a wheelbarrow, and then you wheelbarrow it, I don't know, 60, 70 feet away, and dump it. Crazy. So I finally finished it this afternoon and got it all done, so that now you can actually walk to the front door. All right. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy knows about this. I hate flex. I hate everything about flex duct too. I never ever would allow flex on my jobs. It's like, we're not putting flex in. We're putting metal duct in. And then, in really tough situations, I found out it was so much nicer to bring in a spray foam contractor and spray foam it, just completely foam the ductwork, either in the attic or in a crawl space. Not a problem. Of course, when we put regular metal ductwork in just basements, it's not an issue. I mean, because actually, this is what my heating guy taught me, and I actually agreed with him, is, he'd just put regular S-hooks and drives to connect the pieces of rectangular duct together, and never taped them. So there was a minor amount of air leakage out of that ductwork, but that would temper the basement, which is a good thing. It would provide a little bit of heat in the winter, and a little bit of cooling in the summertime. So it was good. But there are differences of opinion. A lot of places say, oh, you absolutely have to tape each seam. Well, I don't know. I had it in my houses and all my jobs. We never had a trouble. It never taped. What do I know? I just used to eat lunch for 20 plus years sitting on empty, overturned drywall buckets. All right. If you've got a question about your home, put it in the chat. I'm happy to help you. That's why I do the live streams, just so you know. I do not do the live streams just to jabber on about nothing. That is not why I'm here. You may like that, but that's not the primary purpose of me being here. The primary purpose is to help you solve problems around your home and save you time and money. And I'll tell you a little story. I'm going to share this in the newsletter on Sunday. Actually, it's going to be kind of an interesting newsletter. I'm going to try to inspire people, but I'll give you a little peek. I did I do consult phone calls. You can talk to me on the phone for 15 minutes for $49. And in almost all cases, in 15 minutes, I solve your problem. I'll give you an example of how I don't know how to say this without sounding pretentious, but how smart this is. I had, this has happened multiple times because I've done a lot of phone consult calls about sewer gas. And I just finished writing a book about it, a sewer gas ebook, which I'm going to share here probably late next week. I just have to finish the illustrations. And I've had people who tell me, I've had 6 plumbers out here. Think about this. I've had 6 plumbers out to my house. None of them could solve the problem. And I asked them, well, do you mind if I ask you how much did you spend on that? Oh, well, each one was about $100. Oh, so you spent $600 and you still never got your answer. And now you've got me on the phone. Yeah, $49. Well, and every single time I solve the problem. Hello, Al. And today, yesterday, a person, and what happens, I've been kind of busy. I don't actually look where the people live. I'll see an order come in, and what happens, I always focus on what is it the person ordered. I don't look at where they live, all right, on the order form. And I see this guy orders a 15-minute phone call, and he put a note in. It's about, I got some plumbing questions. Okay, great. Awesome. Whatever. And so he emails me some pictures and stuff to read. And I tell him, well, it's a lot of stuff he sent. I said, just so you know, going in, I said, I keep track of how much time I spend doing that. And I deduct that from the 15 minutes, and whatever's left over, we'll talk. He said, that's fine. And if we run over, I'll pay you more. So I said, well, you want to do the call in a little bit? And he said, no, it's too late. It's too late to do the call. I'm going, late? Are you kidding me? Well, it turns out he's in France. This guy lives in France. And so I did the consult call this morning, did it at 9:00 our time, which I believe for him was 3 p.m. If Steve was here, he would tell me, because I know right now we got a 5-hour time difference between here and London, and pretty certain that Paris is an hour before London. So that would be 6 hours. And so this gentleman, I want to share this on purpose. I want to share this because I think it's very inspirational. He's bought this house. I think it's 40 or 50 years old. And what's really interesting, because he was shown, we did a Zoom call, video call. And I mean, the floors are poured concrete. The walls are concrete. I mean, it's like he lives in a bunker. It's crazy. But he wants to add, a bathroom up on this other floor, and he's got a pipe to tie into. So I showed him how to do all that, and I had sent him one of my isometrics that I knew would really help him and understand what he's up to. Then I had him watch my how to vent plumbing video. So he got it. He was there, but he was the point I'm trying to make is he's doing this plumbing. I don't want to say it's hard, but it's not easy. But he's not intimidated by it, and that's the takeaway. He just thought, I'm pretty sure I can do this. I can. And if I get in trouble, I'll do another call with you. And that's exactly what Zoe did in New Mexico earlier this spring, or last spring. So I'm just sharing that inspirational story of this guy in France. And he was a British guy that lives in France. I don't quite understand what his business is, and it's really none of my business. I really don't care what he does. Okay. Okay, Lorene, have a good time with your buddy. Thanks for being here. And Jimmy's right. He says he hates flex. He has to be perfectly straight and supported every 3 feet. Flex loses a lot of CFM on air handlers. Yeah, it can. It just, flex ducting is one of those things. It's really the same. I mean, well, the flex ducting that I hate the most is the crap stuff that people buy for their dryers, their clothes dryers, that 4-inch flex duct. It's just horrible. and the people, and God bless the people that invented it. All right, God bless them, because what they do is they know that most people, not all, but most people are lazy, and so they invent these products that are for lazy people. And Flex Duct is that product. Flex Duct is for lazy people. Because if you go to put in regular duct, it's more time consuming, and the metal duct so flex duct, it's just faster. Doesn't mean it's better, as we already know. Because if Josh had regular duct in his crawl space, he would not have this trouble. All right, so that's a crutch word, just like anyway, and all crutch words. You need to type into the chat whatever problem you have going on at your home, or even where you work, or if you have any kind of question about any aspect of the Ask the Builder business. Happy to answer you. I'll within reason. And feel free to just type it in the chat. I'm happy to help you. Tomorrow, I'm going to kind of take the most of the day off. I'm going to do outdoor radio with a friend of mine who lives in the western part of the state, and we're meeting at Lake Sunapee State Park. And there's a program called Parks on the Air, and it's really a lot of fun. He's going to log for me. I'm going to be the one on the air. And I hope to get like 30, 40, 50 QSOs tomorrow. It all depends on the sun. The sun controls everything. The sun is what controls radio, high frequency radio. And that's what I do. Oh, Lorene says, my daughter's toilet has a really slow, sluggish flush. Easy. I have a column on the website about that. And it here's what it probably is, Lorene. If it's an older toilet, it might have a siphon jet hole that's gotten clogged with calcium deposits. And also underneath the rim of the bowl, way at the top, like where the toilet seat touches, you'd have to use a mirror. A lot of people don't realize that there's holes in that rim. And when you flush the toilet, water goes through the siphon jet hole, but it also goes around the rim of the toilet, and it rinses the sides of the bowl. Those little holes can also get choked with calcium deposits. The other thing it could be is a flapper valve, that little flapper valve inside the tank. It might be closing too quickly. So the first thing to do before you go do a lot of work is just take the lid off the tank, set it on the floor. Do not stand it up. Do not put it on the toilet bowl. Always put it on the carpet on the floor so it doesn't fall and crack. And then just flush the toilet by lifting up the chain of that's connected to the little flapper valve, and hold the chain up. Like, just lift the chain, hold it up. Don't let it go of it, and see if the flush isn't a lot better. It could be that simple problem. It could also be, for whatever reason, the ball cock inside the toilet has gotten out of adjustment, and there's not enough water in the toilet tank. You need to have the water all the way up to the overflow tube. And each time you flush, all of that water needs to be able to get out of the tank. So I would just start and check out the water in the tank, see what's going on. Iron water isn't the problem. Iron deposit, it might be, but but just do what I just said. Just flush it by hand, holding the chain up. And if before that, just make sure that the water level is all the way to the top of the overflow tube or just below it. Anyway, I have a column on my website or two that tell you exactly how to fix the hard water thing. So just go find, type siphon jet hole, muriatic acid, all of those things. Just I've got everything you need, Lorraine, on the website, as you might suspect. Here's Oak Grove, who's a ham radio operator. Oak Grove says, I was involved years ago in activating East Ship Island for islands on the air. It used to be just Ship Island of the coast of Gulfport, Mississippi, but Hurricane Camille came and split, and Katrina made it a little bigger split, no doubt. I was kind of interested in islands on the air about 3 or 4 years ago, because here in New Hampshire, a lot of the lakes have got islands. and it'd be kind of fun to kayak out to them and activate them and what. But then when I looked at um, the requirements to activate, um, you had 25 QSOs to activate it. And with with us at the solar minimum, and with me doing, I do low power QRP. It's like, you know what? That's hard. I mean, that's hard. It's not easy to get 25, and I don't want to go to all that work to paddle out there and do all that to get to the island and walk away with 5 QSOs and no activation. So I completely backed away from that program. And Parks on the Air is much easier. Well, if you're not doing Parks on the Air, I highly recommend it, because it's Parks on the Air now I was very active in National Parks on the Air in 2016, or 50. Yeah, it was 2016. National Parks on the Air. Parks on the Air is now more popular than National Parks on the Air was. It is, well, or it's equal to it. A lot of activations each day, thousands of people involved in it. If you go out to do an activation as an activator, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to walk away with the 10 QSOs that you need to activate it. I mean, if you can't get 10 Qs, and I do Morse code, and Morse is harder than single sideband. And if you're listening and you don't know anything about Morse or ham radio, single sideband is when trying to grab one. I don't even know where one is around here. I don't have, when you talk on a microphone on the radio. In other words, there are 3 times as many people, three times as many people do the microphone stuff in Parks on the Air than Morse code. That means if you announce that, hey, I'm going to be doing, single sideband, you might walk away with 100 QSOs. Anyway, if you still do islands on the air, good for you, man. It's a good luck with that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing islands on the air. Josh, when a strong flush is needed, I hold the hand. Yes, that's exactly right. You shouldn't have to do that, Josh, just so you know. If you have the chain adjusted right, and as long as the flapper valve is not waterlogged or worn out, it'll work fine each time. Look who's here. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for the trash talk. I've been waiting. And we've only got 2 more days, man, of trash talk. So Al Doogie is a contractor in Southern California. For those of you who don't know, you're watching. And he and I made a bet. And I got to meet Alex on the Zoom call, and it's looking like things are going to open up with respect to the illness, which means I'm going to get on an airplane. I refuse to get on an airplane if I have to wear a face diaper. All right, I'm not doing that. Not for an illness. I mean, they didn't make us wear face diapers when each winter with the flu. So why would they make us wear face diapers now? I mean, this illness has got the exact same mortality rate. All right. Anyway, so let me show you. I want to show you what Alex is going to be sending me. He's going to be going here on Monday morning, and he's going to be. I want to show you exactly what he's going to be buying me. I'm just teasing Alex. This is such a good-natured bet. I mean, I love making this bet. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my! I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Here we go. So Alex and I have made this bet. So the loser, whoever loses the Super Bowl, and Alex thinks that the Rams are going to win. I say the Bengals are going to win. Whoever is the loser, he has to buy 1 pound of these and send them to the winner. So look at him go, Rams. But if you have never had these, so I'm giving Aglameses a really big plug. If you have not ever had a pecan day, and what all it is, they take pecan, they must have they pour a little caramel out first. and they then drop some pecans into it. Then they coat the pecans with a little bit more caramel. And then after that cools down, I guess. I mean, I went to their factory once and watched them, but I didn't spend a lot of time. Then they either coat it in milk chocolate or dark chocolate, and they are absolutely flipping delicious. I mean, they're if you've never had a pecan day, I'm telling you, I'm assuming you like pecans. Eat one; you're going to love it. Oh, look at this. The choicest pecans are drenched in our homemade vanilla caramel. And then, are you kidding me? Are you telling me, Alex, that you make them yourself? Whoa, man. Will says, remember that LA backwards is Al. Anyway, oh, this is from the site. I got it. Okay, got it. I understand. Okay. I got to do something here. I got to do something. Oh, come on. I'm trying to have some fun here, but it's not easy. It's not easy. Come on. Here we go. I'm here. Just hang in there. Hang in there with me. It's going to make Alex laugh if I can get this thing to cooperate. Oh, no. Right there. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I just had to do it. All right. But it's going to be really fun watching the game on Sunday. Because it's going to go back and forth. Alex, just so you know, my son, who's a huge Bengals fan, he's never given up on the Bengals, and he would have been happy with a 50 season this year. So he was stunned to see how well they did, and of course the last 2-3 games he was like, he's crazy, he's going nuts. So we're having a Super Bowl party here. He's going to come up and watch the game with us. His prediction. And it's really going to be interesting. He thinks the Bengals are going to win 31-17. So we'll see. But no matter what happens, we're going to have a good time. I cannot have. Oh, good. I'm glad you're safe from the fires. I did not know there was a big fire out in LA right now. Lagoon. I know where Lagoon is. And in fact, a friend of mine owns a condo right there, literally looking right over on top of Table Rock. I mean, I've been to the condo. In fact, there's a video of me at that condo on YouTube. Let me try to find it. I'll share it right now if I can. I don't know if this is the right title. That's the trouble. I don't know what's going to come up. Oh yeah, what do you know? I'll be doggone. So you're going to love this, Alex. This is me inside that condominium. I got to stop it so it doesn't play. This gentleman that I'm talking to in this video, he passed away. He was the owner of the condo. He passed away about 3 years ago. But gosh, I don't know when maybe he explains in the video. I can't remember what I asked him in the video. He might explain when he bought the condo. He could have purchased it 30 years ago or longer. Who knows? 50, 60 grand. You tell me, Alex, tell me what that flipping condo is worth today. Anyway, another friend of mine, a really dear friend of mine, who when I come out to LA, when I come to visit you, I'll be staying at my other friend's house. He inherited this condo. Pretty amazing. What a view. What a view that guy's got. Oh my gosh. Anyway, crutch word. We're going to have a great time on Sunday, Alex. I cannot wait, to go back and forth. What we'll have to do is, I don't know if you're up for it. You let me know. At halftime, we ought to jump on a quick phone call, and I mean, if it's tied at the time, that'll be amazing. But if one team's ahead at halftime, there's going to be a little trash talk, I know, on the phone. All right, good. Yeah, it'd be fun to talk to you at a halftime for a few minutes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of HOAs either, man. I'm in a battle with one right now, my own. I live in an HOA, and get this. Here's what's happening in my own. No, I'm not getting out of that bet. I'm thinking. I've actually been thinking. You know what? Maybe we ought to double it. Maybe it ought to be 2 pounds. I don't know. Like a pound of pecandes and a pound of their other assorted stuff. Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, here's the battle I'm in my own HOA, and I think it's illegal. I know. Neither can mine. I agree. I agree. Look who's there, Steve. So anyway, my HOA, we got 60 lots. It's all single family houses, and a few people over the past year or two have started to participate in the Airbnb, Verbo, like rent their house out and make a little money. And evidently, this past summer on the beach, some renters were just a little out of control. It wasn't the end of the world. So now the members here in my HOA, they want to pass this really restrictive bylaw about renting your home. And it's like, are you out of your flipping mind? You can't change the rules like that in the middle of the game. In other words, when I bought my house, it's my personal property. I can do what I want with it, whatever's legal. And now they're trying to say, no, we're going to tell you what you can do with your home. But listen, we're not going to help take care of it. We're not going to help fix your roof. We're not going to help pay your property taxes. Too bad. That's on you, man. But by God, if you even think about renting it, you're going to get fined $5,000 a week. I'll chase those people to the gates of flipping hell. So anyway, I'll keep you up on that. What's happening? Steve wants to know, what is an HOA? An HOA, that's an acronym for Homeowners Association. I have to believe in London, Steve, that you've got like apartment buildings that have been converted into condominiums, where the people actually own the unit they live in. Well, they would be in an HOA. I mean, here we call them condominium associations, but it's the same thing, where each property owner, has a vote, and there's always, it's the same level of politics that we see on a bigger scale. And just like in my situation, we have these people who think it's okay to tell me what to do with my own personal property. I get it. If you want to pass a bylaw about how I'm supposed to act on common land, I got it. Okay. It's like, I may support that. But here's how ridiculous this is. Imagine this. Imagine if I wanted to rent my home this summer. Well, let's just imagine this. Imagine a big organization in the United States found out about my house and said, oh my God, you have that beautiful lake view? Are you kidding me? You have that dock? Well, here's what we want to do. We want to send 10 kids a week to your house, and we're willing to pay you $1,000 a night. And but unfortunately, these kids, they're challenged. They're in wheelchairs, and they can't speak and they can't hear. They're deaf mutes, but they're not blind. They can see. And we want to be able to put them out on your deck in the daytime and just let them enjoy the view and the sunshine. And so they're just going to stay in your house and stay on your deck, and they can't even make any noise. And these crazy idiots here in my HOA are trying to tell me, nope, can't do that. Can't do that. See what's wrong? In other words, when people try to tell you what to do, everything about that's bad. Everything about it is bad. All right, let me get caught up. I don't have masks needed for the fire smoke. Yeah, Will got here late too. You call them HMO, homeowners. I guess what does that stand for? I'm just going to guess. homeowner maintenance organization would be a guess. I don't know. I don't know. The there I can tell you this much. I First of all, when I bought this house that I live in, I never expected to still be here. I was only supposed to be here for 2 or 3 years, so I thought, okay, I can put up with the HOA for 3 years. Well, we've now been here almost 14 years. That's crazy. Wow. Is that right? Yeah. 14, it'll be 14 years this August. And I'm fighting these guys. And I have some other neighbors who are fighting it. And to make a long story short, we think it's illegal. And I'm looking into that right now. We think that this bylaw that they're trying to pass is illegal. And once I find that out, then I'm just going to go to the board and say, stop doing this. Just stop right away. And oh, what do you know? I told you, by the way, earlier in the week, if you remember, I said the dominoes over here in the United States are starting to fall, and they are. They're falling really quickly now. Really, it's crazy. So it's it's crazy. And also, I've talked about this before. So we had some new financial news come out. It affects you if you're a homeowner. I only bring this up because you may think that this is Ask the Economist. It's not. It's Ask the Builder. But when you build things, you have to buy things. You have to buy copper pipe, and you have to buy drywall, and you have to buy the labor. You have to buy gasoline. You have to buy the lunches for the people that come to work on your home. Well, here in America, Steve, we just had economic news, and I think it's baked anyway. I don't believe it because I think it's much higher, but we just had new inflation data that was just published, and not good. And I got an alert from the professional money manager that manages my retirement money. They sent out a really flash warning about it because and they agreed with what I've been saying for the past month or two here on the live stream. It's going to get worse. And that's what I said earlier in the stream. If you're going to do cork flooring, you better buy it tomorrow. Better buy it tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for doing that, Will. Steve warned us about those people. He warned us, remember, 2 months ago, hey, the bad people are going to come here. Better be ready to get rid of them. And that's why Will and Steve are moderators. So anyway, crutch word. Let me get a drink. And then I can't wait to tell. Well, Kathy, I told you, Kathy's not going to be happy about her. She's going to be happy and then not happy about her car news. It's kind of interesting. Earlier today, I was using, about 3 hours ago, I was dealing with the snow here, Steve, on my front sidewalk, and I had to break it up. It was kind of chunky. Then I had to shovel it up into the small wheelbarrow. I have this really great wheelbarrow. It's, I think the wheelbarrow is 20 years old, and it's got a plastic tub. But what's unique about this wheelbarrow, and I think I found one in the UK right before the stream went live. I think I found one, and anyway, what's neat about it is it's narrow. I'm going to say that the wheelbarrow is maybe, I'm going to measure it after I get off the air. I'm going to say it's maybe only 26 inches wide, and it's kind of long. The tub is long, and where the wheel's located, it's really interesting because as long as you put most of the weight up front, when you go to lift the handles, it's so well balanced. It's a really well designed wheelbarrow, but the plastic tub has got cracks in it. It's seen much better days. It's done. I need to get a new one. But I want to find one very, very similar to what I have. And what I found was interesting is that what appears to be the issue is that you in the UK, you have these smaller lots. I mean, like in London and wherever, And people have they have narrow gates to go through. They're just, things are not as wide as in America. And so they have these smaller wheelbarrows. So I'm hoping I can find one still here in America. But anyway, we'll see. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Let me answer the question. So, Alex, I'm an old plumber. All right, literally. Um, I don't like the synthetic. I don't like the synthetic gaskets. I love wax, and here's why I like wax. If you ever have touched one or dealt with one, and as long as you put everything in right, and I've got a column on my website, most plumbers now are not putting the toilet flange in correctly. Understand, the toilet flange must sit on top of the finished floor, not flush with the finished floor, on top of. And when you do everything right, and you put that wax ring in right, and you put that toilet on right, I don't care how hard you plunge that toilet, you are not going to cause water to squirt past the wax ring. Never, never. And that's why I like wax rings, because they will not leak if you put them in right. And the synthetic ones, these rubber ones and stuff I see, it's a lot like what I just talked about. I might have been talking about this before you got on, Alex. We were talking about a half an hour ago about flex duct. And I said that flex duct, in my opinion, was invented for the lazy HVAC guy. And I think these modern synthetic and rubber wax rings or wax gaskets or whatever, same thing. They're for the lazy plumber, and that doesn't want to mess with the wax. And you know what? So you have a paper towel. If you're really careful, you don't get the wax on your hands that much. But you want to put one in that's got a horn on it. So they come with and without a horn. Always put the horn one in. Oh yeah. All right. So here we go. I'm Steve. Crazy about the energy bills. I saw that article yesterday about European energy prices. That's crazy. And this is a rhetorical question. Why is that? What is going on there? Is that what that whole Ukraine thing is all about? Where that whole pipeline coming from the oil fields to Europe, to France and England? I mean, what doesn't make sense? You've got all the oil in the world up in the North Sea. I thought that was all your stuff. Well, you guys should have super cheap energy prices. What the heck is going on? That's all rhetorical. Okay, Al. Yes, press fittings. Did you not watch my press fitting video? I actually did a really cool video. Let me get this for you. I mean, you already know what they are, but I just think you might like this. I did this with my son on Thanksgiving Day. He was not too happy. Here it is right here. I think this is it. Thanksgiving Day, he was here, and I said, Tristan, let's help me go. No, this is not it. Oh yeah. This no. Anyway, I'm having trouble finding this. So I'm just here. Maybe I have to type this in. Press tool. I'm sorry about this. I got to find this. Press tool. I'm trying to figure out how I titled it. Here we go. I got it. You're going to love this video. Alex, I think you're going to laugh at this video big time. I think you're I had a lot of fun with this one. Oh, green energy. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on the flipping green. Here we go. I'm trying to figure out how to send this thing. Oh, I see what I did wrong. All right. So Alex, watch that. Anyway, love press fittings. And I don't know if you heard earlier, but I was doing a phone consult, Alex, with a British guy. So Steve, I was talking with another Steve from England this morning here, our time this morning, but he lives in France, and he hired me to help him install this plumbing. He's putting in a new bathroom, and he wanted to show me some of the copper work he had done, all with press fittings. And he said, "What the way in France? Get this: those crazy plumbers over there, they want to braze everything. Are you kidding me? They braze stuff. They don't solder it. And but the press fittings are fine. And anyway, the press fittings, Alex, they're fantastic. Fantastic. I love every. I wish I would have had them when I did it. I was one of the first guys to see the press fittings. I was invited to the press event. I'm going to guess now, it could have been 10 years ago, Milwaukee Tool. I think that's when they introduced it. Milwaukee was the first to market with a press tool. Now, that tool could have been over in Europe, but I'm just saying here in America, Milwaukee, I think, brought that to market. Anyway, let me get caught up. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I just love press fittings. They're fantastic. Such a time saver. Here's what I love about press fittings. So, Alex, I don't know if you've thought about this because I don't think you're a plumber. So here's what you should always carry with you, just so you know. If I were you, I mean, you might not be able to afford the press tool, but I would always have in my truck 2 or 3 press ball valves, 1/2-inch ones, 3/4 inch, because think about this. Let's just say that something goes wrong, like in your earthquakes. All right, earthquake, flipping line ruptures, water squirting everywhere. Well, big deal. Just cut it off. Cut it off. Even while the water's running, open up the valve, slide it over the pipe. Water shooting out the valve. Who cares? Take the press tool. Zzz, done. Close the valve. Water leak stopped. How cool is that? You could never do that soldering. Never. You can't have any water in the line when you solder, much less water shooting out of the pipe. So press. They're great emergency repair tools. I know it's not cheap. I know they're not. I know. But look at the price. Look at the price that you're seeing for your subs charging you now. I mean, you tell me, Alex, what are the chargers in LA? What are the plumbers in LA charging an hour now? I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say that an LA plumber, don't type it yet. I'm going to say 125 an hour. I'm going to say $125 an hour. But Steve says, I'm getting caught up. We're going back and forth. 25% of your bill is green energy tax. That is crazy. Oh, that's unacceptable. That's hateful, actually. It's hateful. Yeah. Wax. Only way to go, Alex, on toilets. But you got to put it in right. It's got to be right. Anyway, Alex is busy. I say it's $125 an hour. Here in New Hampshire right now, I think it's up to $90 an hour for plumbers, maybe $100. California has got a higher cost of living. They've got a crazy high income tax. Crazy. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Are you kidding me? Hour and 13 minutes. Here's what's really exciting. I know you can't see out my window, but sunset has already happened. It's a little dusky outside. We got some clear skies, but I mean, it's still bright outside. I mean, back at the solstice right before Christmas, it would have been pitch black right now. Pitch black. I mean, I'm really excited. I mean, we're getting more daylight every day. It's so exciting. So flipping exciting. I don't know what else to say. I'll just say this. I've been thinking, we have to wait until all the illness nonsense is over. But it's going to be really interesting I actually think this would be kind of our next Zoom topic, if you want to know. Yeah, you're right, Will. I think that we do another Zoom call soon, and we talk about, we just float the idea. Doesn't have to happen, but we float the idea of a parachute drop. I think that would be kind of a cool conversation topic. And once again, what a parachute drop is we would all kind of agree on a place, and it's going to be someplace nice, not necessarily expensive, just nice weather. and we would say, okay, here's a 3-day period of time, and we're all going to try to meet there. And if you make it, great. If you don't make it there, it's not the end of the world. And we called those, in the secret group I was in, we called those parachute drops. And a lot of fun, all completely non-structured. Just kind of hang out, like if Will was to go and I was to go, you can bet that one of those days we're probably going to be golfing. I mean, it just hang out by the pool, have umbrella drinks, chit chat, just complete relaxation. So that's what a parachute drop is. A lot of fun. Yeah, ice is melting here too. Over the next 2 days, I think all the ice on my driveway will be gone, which will be great. Be fantastic. Tim, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go to the shop before it closes. Okay, buddy. Get to the store. My goodness, that's late over there. Thanks for dropping in, Steve. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be here tomorrow. There's not a doubt in my mind. If anything, I might be a little late. Oh, I already know I'll be here tomorrow. No doubt about it. I'm not picking Kathy's car up until next week. I'll be here for sure. I didn't know if I was going to be here because after I got back from ham radio, I might have to go get Kathy's car, but I'll be here tomorrow. Well, I think this might be a good time for me to bug out too. I've got a little bit of snow work I could do before it gets dark. Some stuff came off the roofs. So I'm going to go too before it gets chunky. Thank you for being here today. I should be here tomorrow. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Alex, if you're still here, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Oh, the Volvo. No. But what happened is before you got in, Will, before you tuned in, I got a phone call that I took on the live stream from the car repair place. And they pretty much have figured out what the problem is. And they have to relocate this fuel module. It's a long story, but they have to put in a wiring harness, and they're not going to have the part until Monday. But it appears that they know what the problem is, and they've got the fix. It's just a matter of getting the part. So what I'm not looking forward to is I don't know how much time they've spent trying to diagnose this thing. I mean, I'm not looking forward to that. So, but I've had quite a few plumbing orders come in the last 48 hours. Talk about that on another live stream. I draw plumbing isometric drawings, and I had a guy from New Jersey today order plumbing isometrics. Plus, I have to draw the gas lines. His building department's requiring a gas line drawing, and I do them all on the computer. It's really easy. I love doing it. Okay. Yeah. I will, Alex. Good. Good seeing you, buddy. Well, I didn't see you, but I know you. So be careful. And Sunday, we're both going to have a good time. I think we're going to have a great time. And I will. You can call me, or I'll call you at halftime, just for a few minutes. All right, I'm going to get out. Hello, simulator. Glad you're here. I don't recognize you at all, but I'm glad you stopped by. But you got here right at the end. I'm going to get out of here. I got some work I want to do outside before it gets pitch black. So I am Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder, and I should be here tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern time. Have a great night. I plan to have one too.